Fallout New Vegas' Dead Money is the first volume of downloadable content released for PC on February 22, 2011. Dead Money brings the player out of the Mojave Wasteland to the Sierra Madre Resort, with its own unique survival horror setting apart from the main game. This video will take a look at some of the design aspects and decisions made in Dead Money, and explore the deeper tone, setting, and themes brought to light by the developers. The plot will be discussed as well, so some spoilers can be expected. Dead Money begins with a radio broadcast found on the player's Pip-Boy being broadcasted from an abandoned Brotherhood of Steel bunker. Upon investigating, the player is rendered unconscious and wakes up in the Sierra Madre. We're introduced to Father Elijah, who trapped the courier and fitted them with a bomb collar to help force his will. Elijah then commands the courier to find 3 others to help break into the Sierra Madre casino. The villas of the Sierra Madre itself are a bleak sight, filled with a red, toxic cloud that blots out the sun. The buildings are built with an Art Deco architectural style and are dilapidated and sprawled with graffiti. When setting out to find our heist members, the major environmental challenges faced throughout the DLC are introduced. First are the bomb collars. Father Elijah informs the courier that every member has a bomb collar and that they're all connected. If one of the members die, everyone dies. In addition, the radios around the villa have degraded and interfere with the collars and can cause them to detonate. The second challenge is the cloud, which permeates nearly all of the Sierra Madre and causes deterioration of living tissue. The cloud slowly degrades the health of those found within it, and in high-density pockets, the cloud quickly takes the life of those unfortunate enough to be found within. As alluded to by Father Elijah, there is no way to protect from the cloud's poisonous touch. The construction of the villa is shoddy. Many corners were cut, and yet somehow, the cloud seems to be conserving some of the building's structural integrity. The third major challenge is the populace of the Sierra Madre, the ghost people and holograms. The ghost people are mutated, pre-war individuals who were trapped in biohazard suits. They are now hostile to anyone in the villa and attack on sight. Adding to their fearsome title and abominable state is the fact that they only die if dismembered or vaporized. The holograms found throughout the Sierra Madre range in their disposition. Some will barter with you, some are neutral, ghost-like presences themselves. The security of the Sierra Madre, however, is hostile to any moving creature and will attack on sight. They cannot be physically engaged, but only diverted or deactivated via terminal or emitter. In addition to the hostile environment and populace is the challenge of supplies and safe spaces, especially while in survival mode. Food, water, sleep, healing items, and ammunition are all scarce throughout the DLC. And though 8 items can be more easily supplemented through holotapes found throughout the Sierra Madre and vending machines, Dead Money helps better appreciate the necessities that are relatively easy to obtain in the base game. The player finds their 3 heist members, Dog/God, Dean Domino, and Christine. Dog/God is a psychotic nightkin already employed by Father Elijah. This nightkin has 2 minds, that of Dog and that of God. Dog is an obedient, violent, dumb, and hungry servant to Elijah, who he calls Master. God is a smart, devious, and brutal personality who distrusts Elijah and the courier. These 2 personalities fight each other constantly throughout the DLC, trying to trap each other in an internal cage. Another of the heist members is Dean Domino, a pre-war entertainer turned ghoul who has stayed at the Sierra Madre since before the Great War and the Sierra Madre's grand opening. Dean is charming, scheming, calculating, and effective in what he sets his mind to, albeit he is willing to take any necessary steps. He, like Father Elijah, has been plotting and waiting for an opportunity to break into the casino. The last heist member is Christine, who is found trapped inside of an autodock. She is covered in scars and found mute from the autodock's prodding. Depending on the courier's abilities, even simple communication may be difficult through gesturing. Though if able to, much more can be found out about her and her past, and her own reasons for coming to the Sierra Madre. After gathering the team, Father Elijah gives his next orders, to position the members around the villa to perform their assigned tasks, which will start the gala event. Triggering the gala event will unlock the casino's doors for a limited time, allowing the heist to commence. Dog/God is assigned to a switch station, Dean Domino to a rooftop, and Christine to a switching station. Each has its challenges to overcome, but once done, the courier is tasked to make their way down to the bell tower to initiate the gala event. The event renews the activity of ghost people, but after fighting their way to the casino, the player is again rendered unconscious by Elijah when entering through the front doors. When the courier wakes up, Father Elijah has commands to power up the casino and to deal with each of the 3 other heist members. Each member reacts in kind to the courier dependent on how they have been treated up to this point. They may be cooperative or they may be ready to kill. However it plays out, the courier next makes their way into the casino's basement, an underground fortress filled with utilities and a secure vault. The vault contains numerous gold bars and a terminal through which Father Elijah talks to the courier. It is here that the DLC story soon comes to an end, which goes about in a few ways depending on the player's choices. It should be noted that there are actually a couple ways to end the entire game while in the vault. It can be found that Father Elijah's ultimate goal is to harvest the cloud, to claim the Mojave Wasteland for himself. Under the right circumstance, the courier can join him in this conquest. Else the courier will either face Elijah face to face in a fight to the death, or sneak their way back, locking Father Elijah in the vault with no possible escape. If the player's curiosity gets the best of them, they can find themselves locked in the vault to wait their own demise. There are a couple of key themes that are on display throughout Dead Money. The first is the discrepancy between the idealistic and the cynical. The idealistic contains what the Sierra Madre was originally advertised as, a chance to begin again, a place where one can let go of the worries and woes that hold one back in their day-to-day life and start anew. The Sierra Madre offers an escape and opportunity. The radios were to fill the serene villa with beautiful music. Entertainment, intrigue, excitement, love, and beautiful views were to welcome its guests. To the founder, Frederick Sinclair, the Sierra Madre, and more specifically the casino and its vault, was a golden opportunity of love and preservation of life. He built these things for Vera Keys, his love interest, who he risked very much for to ensure that they would survive together, even in the event of nuclear war. The cynical is what the Sierra Madre was in reality, a place of death, greed, and betrayal. The villas were built using shoddy materials and craftsmanship. The project was financed by giant debts and allowing unethical experimentation. The radios now caused Elijah's captured team members to panic and be filled with dread. Sinclair's love and ambition in constructing the casino and vault for his love interest Vera was in vain, as her and Dean were planning on betraying Sinclair. Behind the idealistic dreams lies the cynical realities. The second major theme is control. Control is featured centrally in the DLC's narrative, as we hear,
"Getting to it, that's not the hard part. It's letting go."
This is most blatantly showed through the heavy gold bars in the vault and the inability to collect them all and still survive. Beyond the physical, however, Dead Money focuses on the intrinsic controls. The courier is under the control of Father Elijah, as well as their curiosity or greed that originally drew them to the Sierra Madre, as pointed out by several of the characters throughout the DLC. Father Elijah is controlled by his insatiable desire of power and information. Dog is controlled by his obedience and hunger. God is controlled by his desire for vengeance against Elijah and domination over Dog. Dean is controlled by his obsession with the casino and his past that ties him to Sinclair. Christine is controlled by her desire for revenge. Despite these conflicting controls and greed, however, the heist members work together by the greater control of the collars that forcibly bond them together. Ultimately, this is what is shaping Father Elijah's perspective of his ideal, illogical society, one held together by force. As God/Dog points out, though, it turns everyone into an extension of the old man himself, though it does limit their ability to control as they see fit. Even bomb collars alone didn't work in the past. This wasn't Father Elijah's first attempt. Those that came before turned on himself or each other out of greed. It is only when the collars are interconnected that Father Elijah is able to, just barely, forced all the heist members to execute his will, with the courier acting as his primary puppet. Together, cynicism and control highlight the worst in humanity. The Sierra Madre reveals to you that both before the bombs and after, that man will coerce, trick, blackmail, murder, and lie to achieve their own narrow goals. The civil and the uncivil humanity hasn't changed in these centuries after the Great War. It's just become more conspicuous. While Dead Money lies in stark contrast to New Vegas' main setting and tone, the DLC helps bring the player back to the original, desperate, brutal atmosphere that Fallout 1 invoked before civilization was starting to crawl out of utter desperation. The original Fallout was cold and unforgiving, and moments of humanity were few and far between. The original goal, from a design aspect, was that Dead Money should hold a horror survival tone. In reality, the DLC played out as a survival horror, though the stark desperation and horror of the wasteland really claw and bite their way back into the player's perspective of the world. Narratively, Dead Money is tight, focused, and consistent. This is added to by the score and ambient sounds, which are haunting and wash the player with an uneasy, queasy atmosphere. Dead Money offers a fantastic setting and story, but, at least for me, is very difficult to play through. At first, I'm immersed in the story, stuck into this world that has been presented before me. But even before I'm done with the first act of the DLC, I find myself rushing through areas, taking shortcuts, and just wanting to be done. The mechanics introduced, especially the nerve-wracking radios that trigger the collar, the oppression of the omnipresent cloud, and having to carefully, methodically make my way through the villa streets, it all wears me down very quickly. It feels almost dreadful. But after thinking on this for a while, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. What Dead Money succeeds in doing is aligning me, the player, with the character I'm playing. My character is put into a very dreadful, tense, scary, and nerve-grinding scenario. The mechanics, as annoying and apathetic as they may be, put me, as a person, in the same mindset. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to deal with the collar and the radios, or the creepy as can be ghost people. I don't want to battle untouchable ghosts, and I don't want to be slowly poisoned and stifled by the outside air. I just want to be done. I just want to go home. Strangely enough, though, as the ending slideshow is playing, and I know I will never go back to the Sierra Madre again, I miss it. I'm filled with a tinge of something that could have been great and holds me. That dream, what the Sierra Madre illusorily offers, is like the cloud, forever out of my grasp. As we end, I'd like to play 2 recordings that help capture the sobering difference between the promises of new beginnings and the realities of the wasteland found within the Sierra Madre. But before we get to that, I want to bring up something that Dead Money shows the player rather than explicitly tells, at least until the last farewell recording is broadcasted that we'll listen to. When we aren't controlled by something and seeking that out, whether it be vengeance, greed, desire, hunger, the next thing, we are freed to enjoy what so many are unable to: love, life, and family. Frederick Sinclair's life ended as a tragedy, but his pursuit was the pursuit of all truly rich men.
Now, come on. You open up. Open the vault. I can make it worth your while. Think about what you're throwing away. I have other weapons, other technology I can share with you. And the big empty, I know the way there. I know some of its secrets. If the callers were a mistake. I see that now. Why would I kill you? After all you've done, after all we've done together. Are you listening to me? Everything down here, I swear, so much you could see. You could rule the wastes with what's down here. Make your own army, reshape the world, and if others disagree, put collars on them. I can show you how. Don't you leave me here. You can't do this to me. It's getting dark in here. Machine's losing power. No, I still have Pip-Boy light. Maybe. No, it doesn't work. Where's the door? Can't find the door. Come. Been in worse situations. Find a way out. Somehow. Then find that courier. Maybe Veronica. No. She thinks I'm dead. Must be someone. Maybe that other courier. One with the flag on his back. Maybe. No. Said he'd never come to the Sierra Madre. No way out. Can't end like this. You. I know you can hear me. When you die, courier, I'll be waiting. Your grave's going to look just like this vault. When you die, I'll be waiting here. At the Sierra Madre. Waiting.
Wait a moment. Before you go, we hope you've enjoyed your stay. Farewells can be a time of sadness. Letting go, difficult. As a guest of the Sierra Madre, you know that truth more than anyone. Frederick Sinclair believed one's life could be made anew every day. That fortunes were more than the wealth in your hands. Love, life, family, those to care for, and those who will care for you. To those who know these joys, the Sierra Madre holds little they don't already have. Out in the world, beyond these walls, that is your chance to begin again. I hope you'll return in happier times. Until then, the Sierra Madre and I will hold you in our hearts.